In the sacred city of Mecca, near the house of Allah, among the noblest and most illustrious of lineages, a light was born that would illuminate existence. In this episode, we journey back to the time before the birth of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, to recount two pivotal events: the solemn vow of Abdul Muttalib that could have altered the course of history, and the marriage of Abdullah and Amina, which carried profound significance. Join us as we explore these remarkable moments. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was born into the most honorable and distinguished lineage, embodying nobility in every aspect. He was born in the vicinity of the sacred house of Allah, the sanctuary to which hearts and people from all directions have turned throughout history. One of the greatest blessings Allah bestowed upon the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, after the divine mission itself, was the exaltation of his name and the honor of his ancestry. He was raised among the noblest of the Arabs, in the highest social standing, near the sacred house, and Allah purified and ennobled his lineage. His grandfather, Abdul Muttalib, was the leader of his people and the most revered among them. His father, Abdullah, was among the most beloved to his grandfather. In this episode, we pause to reflect on two significant events that occurred before the birth of the messenger of Allah. Peace and blessings be upon him. The first event. Historians narrate that Abdul Muttalib made a solemn vow. If he were blessed with 10 sons who would grow up and stand by his side, he would sacrifice one of them at the Kaaba in devotion to Allah. When his sons reached maturity and he saw their strength, he informed them of his vow, and they willingly accepted. At that moment, Abdul Muttalib resolved to fulfill his pledge. He cast lots to determine which of his sons would be offered, and the lot fell upon Abdullah, the father of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, the youngest and dearest of his sons. As the lots were cast, Abdul Muttalib supplicated fervently to Allah. The lot continued to fall upon Abdullah. He then took Abdullah's hand and led him towards Isaf and Naila, the two idols near which sacrifices were made. The people of Quraysh rose from their gatherings and protested, saying, "What do you intend to do?" He replied, "I will sacrifice him." The people of Quraysh and his sons objected, saying, "By Allah, you will not sacrifice him until you have sought an alternative. If you do this, every man among us will come forth with his son to sacrifice him." Al-Mughira ibn Abdullah ibn Amr ibn Maksim intervened, saying, "By Allah, you must not sacrifice him until you have exhausted all alternatives. If his ransom can be paid with wealth, we will ransom him." The people of Quraysh and his family insisted, "Do not act rashly. Seek the guidance of a soothsayer in the region of Kaaba. If she instructs you to sacrifice him, then do so. If she offers an alternative, then accept it." They traveled to her, and Abdul Muttalib recounted his story. She replied, "Return tomorrow, so that I may consult my spiritual guide." When they returned the next day, she said, "Yes, I have received guidance. What is the customary blood money in your tribe?" They responded, 10 camels. She instructed them, "Go back to your land, place 10 camels as a ransom, and cast lots between them and the boy. If the lot falls upon him, increase the ransom by 10 camels each time until your Lord is satisfied. If the lot falls upon the camels, then sacrifice them, for your Lord has accepted the ransom." They returned to Mecca and prepared the camels. Abdul Muttalib supplicated to Allah and cast a lot between Abdullah and the camels. The lot fell upon Abdullah. They increased the ransom by 10 camels, but the lot again fell upon Abdullah. They continued increasing the ransom by 10 camels each time, and the lot continued to fall upon Abdullah until the number reached 100 camels. Finally, when they cast the lot, it fell upon the camels. The people present declared, "Your Lord has accepted the ransom, O Abdul Muttalib." But he replied, "No, by Allah, I will not be satisfied until I confirm it 3 times." They cast the lot 3 more times, and each time it fell upon the camels. The camels were then sacrificed, and no one was prevented from taking their meat, neither human nor beast. This was the first significant event. The second event, the marriage of Abdullah and Amina. After fulfilling his vow with the sacrifice of the camels, Abdul Muttalib sought to find a bride for his son, Abdullah. As he journeyed with him, they encountered a soothsayer from the Quraysh tribe named Fatima, who was of Jewish descent. Upon seeing the radiant light on Abdullah's face, she said, "Young man, would you lie with me now? I will offer you 100 camels in return." But Abdullah, firm in his honor and virtue, responded with noble verses. "Unlawful acts lead only to ruin, and the lawful path is clear for all to see. How could I ever accept what you seek, when an honorable man guards his dignity and faith?" Reflect on this. She invited him to sin, yet he refused with unwavering resolve. This was by the grace of Allah, for the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, was to be born from a pure and honorable union. Abdullah's words reflect the noble values deeply ingrained in many of the pre-Islamic Arabs, values that Islam later affirmed, refined, and elevated. He declared, "Unlawful acts lead only to ruin. Death would be more bearable than indulging in sin. Death would be easier than consuming the unlawful. Death would be preferable to engaging in usury, adultery, theft, or deceit in trade. Death would be more merciful than slandering others, accusing chaste women, lying, or bearing false witness. Unlawful acts lead only to ruin, and the lawful path is clear for all to see. How could I ever accept what you seek, when an honorable man guards his dignity and faith? A noble person shields himself from disgrace and impurity, preserving his dignity." Abdullah then married Amina bint Wahb. He stayed with her for 3 nights, and she conceived the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Then he said to her, I must accompany my father. I cannot leave him. He departed and did not remain long before passing away. Abdullah died in the prime of his youth while in Medina, where he had gone to purchase dates. Some reports state that he was returning from Syria when he fell ill and passed away in Medina at the age of 25. He died before the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, was born. Thus, the greatest of all creation was born an orphan, but never alone, for divine care surrounded him from the very beginning. Each event in his life was a step toward the dawn of a new era for humanity. Let us reflect upon these moments and draw inspiration from the noble virtues they embody. O Allah, send your peace and blessings upon Muhammad, his family, his companions, and all who follow his guidance until the day of judgment. Thus, the story of the elephant was not just an event in history, but a testament to divine wisdom and protection. The Kaaba remained safeguarded until the final prophet was sent to guide humanity to the truth. Thank you for watching and supporting our journey through history. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Share your thoughts and suggestions in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Stay tuned for more stories that shaped our world.